So, about a month back, I published the very first episode of a podcast which I made with my friends entirely during this lockdown phase. So, today I felt like it might be a good time to share with you guys about our mistakes and learnings, our journey, and most importantly, about how we made those episodes on a zero budget during this lockdown phase. Because most of the content creators like us who are just starting out are always concerned about the fact of how much money to put in to edit, record, and then finally to host those episodes. So basically, this is my guide to making a podcast from your home on a zero budget or something like that. But first, let's step out of this room.
Yes! That's awesome!
You're crazy. You're crazy. I like you. You're crazy.
Literally like stepping out of the house after 4 months. Feels good, eh? Check out this view. Anyways, back to the topic. So, we had been planning to make this podcast from a very long time. By we, I mean my friends Kunal and Mohit. But due to our regular work and independent projects, we never really got a chance to take this idea much seriously. But 2 months into the lockdown, I get a call from Kunal around like 3 a.m. in the morning. And for the next 2 hours, we ended up chatting about our childhood memories. By the end of the call, we were convinced about the fact that we should start a podcast about these stories from our childhood growing up in a middle class household. And within 2 weeks of the call, we published our very first episode. Yep, it was that spontaneous. As I said before, we were planning to make this for over 6 to 7 months, and finally it took a pandemic and a nationwide lockdown to finally get the ideas rolling. So today I'll be discussing with you guys 3 important steps in publishing a podcast: recording, editing, and then finally hosting that episode on a streaming platform. So let's begin. So the most important and inevitable step in every podcast is recording. This is where you actually talk and discuss about your ideas or stories. Basically, whatever your podcast is about. In our case, it's a simple conversational style podcast where 3 friends share their stories of growing up in a middle class family. Since this is the most important aspect of every podcast, you would have to be particularly careful about how you record these episodes. If these were normal times, I would have maybe suggested you to like save up some money and rent up a studio space or invest in some good recorders. But since this is a lockdown, we would have to look out for other online recorders. For the first few episodes, we recorded through an app called Anchor, which is also a hosting website for podcasts. Anchor has this option where it allows maximum 4 people to record at one particular time. But the downside of Anchor recording is that if any one of the participants' internet connection is slow, your voices would start getting overlapped. So personally for us, the first few episodes were very good, but then due to some lack in our internet connections, our voices started getting overlapped. Since then, we started using the record option on Zoom app, which gives you a record time of 40 minutes. The good part about Zoom recordings is that, along with the video output, it gives you a separate track for each of the participants. Say for example, there are 3 people on record. Zoom will record 3 separate audio tracks along with a master file. So that just technically solves the overlapping issues. And one pro tip for recording at home: try to cover yourself up in a thick blanket or a bedsheet. That prevents the voice from echoing and the final output will be like very crisp. So once you have the recorded material with you in your laptop, the next important step here is to edit. After recording, you might realize that there are chunks in your recording which don't serve any purpose in conveying your ideas. So, editing helps to actually direct your narrative the way you would want. So there are multiple free audio editing softwares out there, and one of the most commonly used software is Audacity. It's an open source application and is used to edit professional sound. Though the free version has a few limitations, but it gets your job done. Not so popular opinion, but I edit all my podcasts on a video editing application called DaVinci Resolve. So Resolve is basically a professional color grading software used in films, but I use it to edit my podcast, and it's free to download from the official app. For all those with a maxed out machine or don't feel comfortable enough to learn a new professional software like Premiere or DaVinci Resolve or Audacity, I would suggest that you use the inbuilt video editing software in your laptops or computers, like Movie Maker for Windows or iMovie for Apple. Basically, you need an app with cut and trim tools, and that gets your job done. One important aspect of editing the podcast is the use of music. So it's not necessary and you may choose not to use any music, but I really love having an intro and an outro theme track. I'm inclined towards music. I decided to take this opportunity to compose a track myself for this podcast. It was kind of a passion project, and also because it doesn't cost money. So I produced an old school hip hop track using Apple's GarageBand, which is a music production software. It's like one of the best and most nuanced music creating workstations that I have personally used. But if you guys don't want to spend like a month creating music, YouTube's audio library might come in handy for you. With like tons and tons of free music and every kind of genre and mood available, I think it's one of the best royalty-free platforms for independent creators like us. Now that you have a fully recorded and edited WAV file of your podcast, you are ready to host that episode on a streaming platform. So to post any of your podcast online, the first step is always to get an RSS feed, which is basically a cloud storage. RSS feed is like a permanent address of your podcast, without which you cannot submit any of your episodes to the streaming platforms. So to create an RSS feed, you need a middle party app or a website which helps you get that. Though there are many service providers like Buzzsprout or Captivate, the downside is that they charge you a certain amount of fees. What I used to host a podcast is a service provider called Anchor, and it's free. When you log in and upload your podcast details like your bio, your podcast description, and your album art, it works for you as a middleman and helps you get your RSS feed in a few days' time. Once you have that RSS feed, you can easily submit that to the individual streaming platforms. Because Anchor is owned by Spotify, it will automatically make your podcast available there. For Apple Podcast, you can log on to Podcast Connect and log in with your Apple ID and just paste your RSS feed generated by Anchor. Same with Google, you log on to Google Podcast Manager and the rest of the process is same. You guys will figure it out. The main reason I decided to make this video is because exactly a month back, I was in the same spot as many of you would be today. When we are surviving each month on a cut-to-cut budget, saving money for your passion projects might not seem like a viable dream. But thanks to the internet today, we have a way around almost all the things free of cost, which a few years back might not have been possible. I usually compare our lives to this papaya tree. It's always full of unripe and half-baked ideas or opinions. But over time you grow and develop, and you would finally want to share those ideas, in this analogy, fruits with your loved ones. Now, the only hindrance is to figure out a way or a medium to get those fruits to your friends and family. I believe that each one of us has a story to tell and an idea to propose, and our budget issues shouldn't be a roadblock in conveying those ideas. Good luck to everyone watching this. I'll see you all in the field one day. Till then, peace.